Once again, just a reminder, yes, we know the Super Eagles are playing at 9 p.m. today, but we're going to continue our conversation here. I mean, I was seeing statistics today about the fact that this has been the most watched CAF competition in history, and I think a lot of it has been driven by the power of social media, especially Nigerians on social media who have made a lot of noise and gotten the world to pay attention. So social media is quite the powerful platform these days, and I have a guest here with me who uses that quite interestingly, Okoro Blessing and Kiruka, a relationship expert.
Yes, I am.
Amongst many other things, I believe, influencer.
Yes,
and other things. Thanks for being here today.
I'm honored.
Off air, I was calling her troublemaker. So if you've heard that name, Blessing
That's the one they call me.
If you heard the name Blessing CEO, this is her. First off, how are you doing? You have been, I mean, a lot of us see you on social media, right? But that's one side of things. How are you? How is Blessing doing?
Blessing is fine. Blessing is wonderful. Social media is just a different persona. Like I said, controversy is my strategy. That's what I used to sell my brand. So there's a difference between personality and content. So people have not been able to differentiate both. But as for Blessing CEO, I'm fine.
But how easy is it to differentiate that for you? Because we see a lot of times where social media sort of spills over into their real lives. Sadly, we hear people who commit suicide. We've heard about people who take social media confrontations to real life, and it ends, sometimes fatally. So not many people are able to sort of draw that line. What do you do if you're saying that Blessing CEO is different from Blessing Okoro?
Because my controversy is intentional. It's crafted. It's something, like when you want to produce a movie, you already know what your audience are looking for. So I know the things to say to trigger them, to get that engagement that I want. And also as an expert, if you don't talk, how do you get help? Social media has helped a lot of people to be able to onboarding their heart. So I give them that platform because sometimes if I don't talk, they don't talk. And some people just wait for you to create that avenue for them to be able to also express themselves. So that's why I just keep tilting towards that line. If it wasn't working, I wouldn't do it for 8 years.
Yeah. So, but you do this, you say controversy is your brand. We'll get to that, but I just want to talk about, the confrontations you have sometimes on social media. These people you have these confrontations with, are they aware that it's an act as well? Because it gets quite bitter and intense. Is this an act for you or for both parties?
Unfortunately, maybe because I'm the one that is out there, I'm the most interesting one, I'm the clout. I call myself the queen of clout. I do not come for people. People only see my reaction, but they don't see the action. Because these people who are coming for me, their voice are not louder. It is when I react, that is when it begins to go viral. So it's not me bringing the controversy, it's them bringing the controversy and me saying, I'm not going to let you bully me, I'm not going to act mature, I'm going to give you buzz boost. If you give me, you go collect. I know they agree for anybody.
Do you ever worry about the repercussions on these people though?
On which people exactly?
Whoever, I'm not...
There are no repercussions because most times they come for me. I have never for once insulted anybody, dragged anybody. They come for me. It's like someone coming to fight you and you're trying to avoid. It gets to a point where you have to reply the person now. They start to make it, they deliberately step on my toes. So that I can, yes, most of the time. So I can react. I think it's the reaction that they're waiting for. I remember when I had a confrontation with one actress. I can't remember her name. She started insulting me. She did 5 complete videos. It was the 6th time that I responded to her. That was all went viral. So unfortunately, it's my response. It's not me as a person.
Let's go to what you started with, saying controversy is your brand. When was this decision made? Because some people hear that a lot, but a lot of times it doesn't always end well for people. When you sell controversy so much, it becomes heavily tied to the personality that people never really know how to separate both anymore. When did you make that decision, and don't you ever worry about how it affects you as a person?
It doesn't affect me as a person because the media is a different brand. I've never seen hate in real life. Maybe if I had seen someone threaten me, beat me up, everything is all love. When they see me in real life, everybody's dancing, blessing, see you, blessing, see you. I've been on channels before, and I've been with you, Ebuka, before. So the controversy started after the Onyeze drama. I owned it and decided to use it as a movement. It's like owning your shame and saying, okay, let's move with it. So that was where I deliberately decided to be controversial, because I realized that when people want to troll you, they want to do it in a way that they can control your mind. I personally own up to it and say, this is who I am. If I make mistakes, this is who I am. And like I used to say on the media, we all have different parts. We have our weaknesses and we have our strengths. You should be bold enough to pick what suits you. And what doesn't suit you, you should be able to trash it in the can. That's what I feel.
Have there been moments when you've had any of these parts that you felt like, okay, maybe you crossed the line? I mean, you've probably issued a few apologies in the past. Were there times when you felt like, oh, okay, maybe that was a little too much?
Sometimes I issue apology for formality. Let peace just reign. It didn't mean I did something wrong. So I don't regret anything.
You don't think you're ever wrong? You've never been wrong?
I can be wrong. But oftentimes I don't accept that, because most of the things I talk about are the things you bring on the media. I have never invaded people's privacy. It's either you post something, other bloggers post it, and I drop my opinion, it becomes a problem. That's just it.
Interesting. Let's talk about this situation where you almost went after an entire tribe. You know, my Edo people, because I was born in Benin City.
Are you serious?
Yes. What was that about, and why did you feel the need to get involved in a situation like that?
Unfortunately, you know, when in the cyberspace, people don't know exactly what happened.
Yes.
It wasn't I was doing a live video on Facebook. It wasn't about Edo people. So on the comment section, you know, when you're on a Facebook, like, you see the comment dropping, somebody now came and wrote, "Blessing, no matter how you want to say you tear eye, you know tear eye reach Edo people." It was that comment on the Facebook that triggered where I said...
What was happening on the live first?
We're just gisting on Facebook. Most times I just have fun. There was no topic in particular. It wasn't as if it was captioned Edo people. So that thing was a response to the person who commented. I now said it is even very rare for you to see a woman bring up her child well from Edo State. Very rare. I didn't say all of them.
But why did you... So that's the question. Why did you feel the need to respond to someone who was commenting?
It's freedom of speech. How can they comment and I cannot reply? It's freedom of speech. If you give me bars, like, some people can decide to ignore. But it's the whole way they want to flip it. The media just flip things. And you know the bloggers now. Once you say something, they know the parts they are going to cut that is going to catch people's attention, and they start to rant. Well, it wasn't about Edo people at all.
No, but you generalized, though.
I said rare. And if we want to be very honest, a lot of Edo people, they own up to it. Like when you go to the internet on Facebook, for example, you will see so many Edo people owning up to it. Like they brag with it. So even when I made that statement of saying it is rare, I was wondering why they were angry. Because these are things that they say openly.
Who says?
A lot of Edo people. Yes, because even when you go to the comment section, people are like, what's the big deal? If we want to go back to the history, yes, before the Oba banned it, that was what Edo was known for. Traveling, child trafficking. A lot of people have come to complain. Libya, that was what they were known for. Until they said the Oba finally came and banned it, then it reduced. So I didn't say anything that was a lie. It's an honest fact. Even if you Google it, it's there.
But if it's a fact, there has to be data. So I'm just wondering, if you saw a few comments, you say people say it in comments. People also say a lot of things about Nigeria that's not true. That doesn't make every Nigerian that. So that's what I'm wondering. It felt like a very general statement.
It felt.
You said it's very rare, which means basically virtually all of them are.
Rare. It could be maybe 20, 30%. And from history, like I said, I can back it up with facts. Google it.
If someone attacks you in a comment, why not attack the person? Since you say that's your brand, why did it have to be about the entire tribe? I
think it's them that made... that expatiated it. It wasn't about a tribe. It was the response to the girl. And by then, there was an Edo girl that was insulting me on the media space. I think she was the one that coined it, you know, and triggered it and told the Edo people, see, Blessing is insulting your mother, so my own mother is not alive, and blah, 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 blah. I just see it like the normal media banter. When people post things, everybody just extracts what they want to use to catch crews. That's how I see it. But when I made the statement and I realized that some Edo people were genuinely hot, because I have Edo friends, I was married from Edo State. I tendered an apology because sometimes you can make a statement and not know how people are going to feel about it. I actually did apologize when I realized that people took it the wrong way. I apologized.
Well, I mean, you have a lot of friends in the entertainment industry, but you also seem to go back and forth, like you call it, gbas with a lot of them as well. Some of them people thought were your friends.
Which is
how do you navigate being, I mean, I don't know if you're in the entertainment industry, but sort of sometimes being an influencer is sort of an extension of the industry. How do you navigate friendships, you know, in a space like that while owning controversy as your brand?
I don't think nobody is my friend. I don't think I've ever posted anybody to be my friend on the media. I'm not an actress. What I do is different from what they do. So most times, those that are genuinely my friends, I disassociate with them online, but I hang out with them in real life. Because I personally am making a conscious effort not to be tagged an actress. So these people that you call my friends are not my friends.
So you have no friends, you have no worries, you have no...
On the media, no. I barely have friends on the media. Except I know you one-on-one. And even those celebrities I know one-on-one, I don't need to comment on your page or do anything. I have your phone number. I can come and visit you. So I don't think I've ever had any misunderstanding with a friend before on the media. Never. No.
You are a relationship expert. You say you're a certified relationship expert. So how does that work? Do you have like therapy sessions with couples, or you just give advice online? How does your core job as a relationship expert work?
We actually have an office in Lekki here, and it's a therapy lounge where people can walk in. Initially, I had that in Enugu because I realized that a lot of people are looking for where to express themselves. That was how I started. Initially, I was anonymous. I was a blogger. Break or makeup, where people come and share their relationship story. But at some point, I said, okay, let's make it something to give them the avenue. Because sometimes when you share these relationship stories, you get confused on the comment section. So sometimes I say, okay, I opened up an office. So what they do is most times they come in, they consult, they make payments, and we start from there. It's a process. It could take a month, it could take 2 months, depending on what the situation of your marital issues is.
How often do you have that? Because most people in Nigeria claim that, you know, being very open about their marriages to strangers is not very usual for us. Do you get that often?
To be very honest, Nigerians are hypocrites. They say this and they do that. These people that say that they are secretive, we see all their buzz 24 hours on Instablog. So I always tell them, you don't even have secrets. When you're having a problem with your husband, we can know via your WhatsApp status. We can know from your caption. We can know that you have edited your husband's name. So it's not blessing as a person. It's them not being able to comport themselves. People actually do come for therapy. And unfortunately, people who come for therapy are people that don't like me.
How does that work?
Yes, because most times when they come for therapy, it's like a test. Let me see what blessing they pay for the consultation. They go through the process. They talk about their marital issue. When they get that satisfaction, they now say, blessing, I didn't used to like you. I didn't know you were this intelligent. Because, you know, oftentimes, people don't know you. They only see you via bloggers. They've not taken their time, probably to sit and to assess you. So they just hear, or probably Instablog post something, or they see you on blogs, and they just... So most times when they come, they actually use the word, you're underrated, because probably I gave them what they did not expect. So most of my clients are haters turned lovers. And you know, on the media, it's so easy to be misinterpreted when you say something.
What are some of the most prevalent issues you hear from couples, you know, that cause these issues?
Money and sex.
Okay.
Money and sex is the major reason. Okay. But sex is the silent one. You know, a lot of women will tell you that my husband is doing this, but they don't know how to express. Because if you come out to say, the reason why I'm quarreling with my husband, or is because the reason why I want to leave the marriage is because it doesn't satisfy me in bed. As a community in Africa, they would tag you a prostitute. So it's that. It's either the woman is being deprived of sex or there is no money. So those are the two major issues that a lot of people have not been able to balance: sex and money. Some people say if you are rich, a rich man doesn't know how to make love. A poor man has time to give you for 24 hours. So you are either pick. So I'm going to say it's just sex and...
So how do you fix these things, since you are a therapist for people? What do you say to people who come to you with financial issues, for example, or whatever it is?
I always tell them, first of all, date your level. marry your level. And I tell most women, there are always ups and downs in relationships. There are sometimes your husband will have, and there are sometimes he wouldn't have. So it's just understanding. It's just that the problem is a lot of young people get into marriage with a perception. I don't know if they think that there's guava or there's mango or orange. They don't know that it's so much work. So when they get there, they're expecting Z-World, Telemundo, and breakfast in bed. And when they get there, it's what I ordered versus what I got. So most times I advise them, I just say, this is just like rainy season and dry season. When you marry a man, you should be able to manage him. When you marry a woman, you should be able to manage them. Understand their weaknesses and their strength. That's what makes them a human being. But the biggest problem we have is that once we are in love or once we are married, the expectation now makes us feel entitled and begin to see our spouses like they are superhuman beings. They are not supposed to, because I have clients who come to me. The biggest problem they have is my husband is supposed to. So most times I would take permission and say, can I talk to your husband? So you will see that most women who come for therapy, their husband doesn't even know that there's a problem in the house. Maybe because they can't face him. I don't know what is going on at home. And the husband will say he's not aware. So I always tell women, when instead of you saying a man is supposed to, not every man is exposed, why not teach him those things you assume he's supposed to know? So you teach him. So my slogan is marry people who are teachable, that can unlearn and relearn.
How important is empathy in this in your line of work? Because I believe with therapy there's a need to handle situations delicately, right? You know, you're talking to people, you need to understand emotions and all of that. I want to believe that also applies to couples therapy.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
So you understand the contradiction when people see that that is your core work involves a lot of empathy, but then this person they see on social media sometimes comes across as not being empathetic, you know. So you wouldn't blame people who come to you with a perception already. People,
it's a perception. If you want to have, like I said, I don't even want people to know me, because when they know me, I lose my relevance. I used to tell people, I'm a relationship expert when you consult me. I'm not necessarily a relationship expert on the media. Sometimes I could just drop some keywords, drop some motivational word or some relationship for those who cannot afford me. But for so long as we're in the media, I'm a content creator. I am not your therapist. It's like meeting a doctor in the club and you didn't go to his hospital to consult. He is not your doctor. At that point, you guys are just friends until you do consultation. So I used to say, if you don't trust me, then don't watch me. And I'm still going to go back. A lot of people do not know Blessing. They only see Blessing on blogs. If you take your time to know Blessing and understand that I'm a very empathic person. But unfortunately, people prefer the entertainment part because that is what the bloggers spread. So it's not my fault.
But at the same time, if you see a doctor in the same club and someone is dying and he refuses to help, would you trust that doctor's judgment? When he could. Because then he's supposed to save lives. He might not be at work, but at the core, he's a doctor. He could have helped a situation where someone was, or if he's we sometimes are in a plane where we hear, oh, is there a doctor on board that can help save a life? And the doctor doesn't speak up. Is it possible to separate that from the fact that, well, I'm not in the hospital, so I don't owe
Yes,
anybody?
Except you just want to show some sort of empathy. Even without being a doctor, you can always
So you're okay with a doctor being on a flight, someone's dying, and he doesn't speak up to help?
If it's not an entitlement, it's his choice.
I say you're okay with that?
Yes, I'm okay with that. It's a choice. You don't force people to help. Maybe he doesn't have the right equipment at that point in time. You don't know what he's traveling. You don't know his frame of mind. Maybe he's actually getting out of work to go and relax. And I see somebody, what if I touch the person and I don't do the right thing and they say I'm the one that killed the person? In this part of the world right now, everybody's looking for who to blame. So anything you're doing has to be documented. You need to have receipts, peradventure. So that's just a choice, you wanting to help somebody. I don't think it's your job. It's not your job.
We're going to take a break now, and when we come back, we'll conclude our conversation with Blessing CEO, talking about life on social media in Nigeria and all of the things around her brand. We'll be right back.
What else? What else? See, come on, come on, come on. See, let's go. So let's dance now. It is my turn. Just wanna do right. I am ready for your action. Just wanna do right. You should cut off all distraction. It's all on you now.
There are places you would like to go. There are faces you would like to see.
My palm is bruised. It's a tiny scar, but it's very painful.
Too many exciting things happening all at once.
From time I've always loved playing the villain.
But you can't be everywhere. Guess what? Yes, we can. Your favorite lifestyle content lives here. Let us be your eyes and ears here on Entertainment News on Channels Television.
In every show, we bring you closer to the fastest growing movie industry in the world. From the making to the premiere. Get up close and personal with the stars and industry captains, plus reviews and much more. Nollywood Uncut, every week at these times.
Say, hey, we represent, What else? Come on. Let's go. So let's dance now, it is my turn. Just want you. I am ready for your action. Just want you. You should cut off all distraction. It's all on you now. And just give me some reaction.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I have here in the studio with me Blessing Okoro, aka Blessing CEO. You must know the second name, I'm sure somehow. We're here talking about social media and her job, of course, as a relationship expert. And I just wanted to get your thoughts on bullying on social media generally now, not necessarily about you. And, the fact that it is a real thing, and we've, like I said at the start of the show, it has led to loss of lives even. How do you think we should start navigating that? Because there's been talks in the past, some countries are even starting to implement it, where there's regulation on social media. We've seen the heads of all of these social media networks appear before numerous panels and national assemblies across the world, to talk about what they're doing about bullying on social media. Nigeria is no exception, when it comes to that. How do we start having that conversation?
I think the internet is the only way people can actually express themselves. It's an expression, but now it's like they've mixed everybody together. They've mixed all the classes together. When it comes to bullying, I think if they have to put a law and restrictions, even these networks are trying, more like these apps are trying for restrictions. There are some comments you no longer use on Instagram or Facebook, they will flag your page. Even me as a person, I became very conscious because there was a time my page was on red, violation, because if you insult me, I insult you back, they will now report my comments. Instagram now gives me a strike. So I think the apps are already doing what they should do, but I don't think bullying is something anybody will want to, especially in Nigeria, because people are going through a lot and they find it as a way of relieving stress. Some people just want to put their frustration on you. When you're looking glitz and glam, they just feel like, why should you be looking glitz and glam when I'm not looking the same way? So I don't think it's something, it's like saying, how do we eradicate hellfire? So bullying is something that's part of the media because it's like freedom. Yeah. So the bullying will continue. So I always tell people, it's either you use your blocking. That's why whenever you are in all this app, they provide blocking, restrictions, limited comments, off comments. There's so many other ways to actually, ignore these people, but you cannot. We are already toxic as a country in Nigeria.
Do you ever worry, because like you said, social media is very toxic. Nigerian social media is also very toxic. People see you, right? You boldly always say you are the clouds, like you say. And people see you be the clouds, get talked about a lot, get more famous off of it. Do you worry that that feeds sort of this narrative that, yes, I need to be toxic to be successful on social media?
I'm not toxic. Controversy simply means I don't see things from the dimension where the general public see things. If people are talking about this particular thing, I will always ask myself, why is everybody here? Because on the media, a lot of people are bandwagons. They don't even know what happened. Some of them will tell you on the comment section, clean floor for me, I don't carry mato, Okada drop me here. Some of them is cruise for them. But me, because most times I see that it is people's real life issues, I drop my own opinion. So it's cruise for some of these people, and they're just there enjoying themselves and catching fun. They don't even remember your name after then. And I used to say, people who throw you are not people that hate you. People who throw you are people who just want to express themselves. Maybe all these artisans, secondary school children that do not know their left to their right. Maybe you just do something they don't like, they just drop a careless comment. I remember there was a time someone dropped a careless comment on my page and I blocked the person. He now used a fake account and started begging me that it was Cruz. I now told the person, oh yeah, continue using the fake account too. So Nigerians have seen insult, banter as cruise. And they just feel that so long as you're famous or you're a celebrity, you just have to wear that thick skin and take it. To them, it's entertainment. If there is no negativity, I don't think they enjoy the page, and that's why they love Gist Lover a lot.
How long is this brand of yours going to run for? Is this something you are just riding the wave, or is it something, is there a strategy to it?
Yeah.
What's the plan?
I've done this for 8 years.
Controversial Blessing CEO.
I've done this for 8 years, and like I said, I have an office already, so I'm planning on going global. I have a space on DSTV where I talk about relationship and marriage, Moments with Blessing CEO. I decided to bring up that because I realized that not everybody can afford me. Everybody has relationship problem. The problem is they don't want to pay. Most people have not understood what therapy is. So majority of my clients, if I'm being honest, are people who are outside the country, not Nigerians. Because Nigerians will tell you, it's easy for me to go and sit down and pay someone so and so amount just to talk. They'll prefer to go and eat with drink a hobby and probably chase women. So it's a long-term brand because people will keep marrying every day, divorcing every day, getting into a relationship every day. So it's just a way of us expanding. And the controversy helps because it enables me to see people's mind, see how they think, see how they reason. There are some comments I read sometimes, I'm like, does these things actually exist? And it is even their comments that actually helps me create content. By the time I go, I read comments, I now see, okay, if 1, 2, 3, 4 people are thinking from this perspective, okay, let me dwell on it, read about it, and teach people about it. So it's a long-term thing. Long-term. I want it to go global. Because I think that's one thing we don't have in Africa. We're just introducing it in Africa.
You talk a lot about money as well, and your love for money. Does that override everything else for you?
Not really, but money is the most essential thing now. You have to make money. That is the drive. That's the inspiration, waking up in the morning every day. If you're not going to make money, then what are you doing? So it's money. The reason why I put it, I'm always very conscious of money because if you look at our Gen Z buddies, you know, we are the millennials. They said we are the millennials, the ones who are in their 30s, the ones in their 20s are the Gen Z buddies. You see that these men that are coming up now do not want to carry responsibility. Responsibility to them is like a burden. So you see me deliberating most times that I want the younger ones to own up that as a man, it is my duty to be responsible for my family, but my wife can support. That's where money comes in. So money is very essential. That's a whole other show now that you've just started. So let's just leave that conversation for now. On a final note, what's the year looking like for you? You said you're not an actress, you're not a this. Is any thoughts at all of going into entertainment at any point, whatever it is? What's your plans? I might. A lot of people have actually offered me acting script, more than 25, but I refuse to act. Because I'm not an actress. I don't want to be mistaken as an actress. So I always tell most of the producers that bring the script for me, except in the movie role, there's a place I will play something related to my job. Because what I do is rare, I don't want them to categorize me with actresses. So I deliberately do not go for functions, events, I pick it so that they will not see me as a, maybe you already said content creator do. I want to just carve that niche for myself and be different from, you know, the regular people you see on the media. Well, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck with everything you do. Thank you very much. Hopefully, maybe things start dialing back, but you said it's your call and you enjoy it. So to those who are confronting you or who you confront, we wish them all the best. Thanks a lot for joining us as well. And once again, good luck to the Super Eagles as they confront the Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire later tonight. We hope that at the end of today, we'll be smiling with our trophy. I'll see you next Sunday. Really wanna get with you. Don't just stand there teasing me now.